Ireland will have the final say on whether the UK has made sufficient progress in Brexit negotiations to move on to the next stage, Donald Tusk, the President of the European Council, has said. In a strongly worded statement expressing solidarity with Ireland, Tusk said Brexit problems were of Britain's own making, but Ireland's problems were the EU's. He warned that progress would not be possible if the Taoish, Leo Varadkar, was not satisfied with the UK's offer on the Irish border, which is scheduled to be tabled in Brussels on Monday. Ireland's Taoish, Leo Varadkar, has been much more sceptical than the UK about the potential for avoiding border posts via virtual checks on importers. Whilst agreeing with British ministers and EU negotiators that it is inconceivable for there to be a return to a hard border with the North, Dublin argues that the best way for the UK to achieve this would be by permanently remaining in a customs union with the EU and seeking single market membership like Norway through the European Economic Area. The UK has conceded that some of this will be necessary in its interim phase after Brexit, but hopes clever technological solutions can allow it to have looser economic links in the long run. Varadkar is not alone in being skeptical about whether such a cake-and-eat-it customs and trade strategy is viable. Ireland, which is looking for written commitment that there will be no return to a hard border with Northern Ireland, has threatened to veto progress if Britain does not come up with a satisfactory and firm offer this weekend. Let me say very clearly, if the UK offer is unacceptable for Ireland, it will also be unacceptable for the EU. I realise that for some British politicians this may be hard to understand, said Tusk. It was logic that the EU would support Ireland before a member state that was leaving the bloc. This is why the key to the UK's future lies, in some ways, in Dublin, at least as long as Brexit negotiations continue, the Council President said. Speaking in Irish Gaelic, Tusk made clear that the EU stood full square behind Ireland, Nicoliat Goko Lachiel, there is no strength without unity. His words were an indication of clear and unambiguous support from the EU as Monday's deadline for an offer on the Irish border, the divorce bill and EU citizens' rights closes in, placing relations between the EU27 and the UK on a knife edge. Earlier on Friday, Ireland's Deputy Taoish and Foreign Minister said he believed a Brexit deal on the Irish border question was doable, and confirmed that his government had held talks on the subject with Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party. Simon Coveney said a breakthrough was possible before Theresa May's crunch meeting with Jean-Claude Juncker, the European Commission President, on Monday. A good deal for Britain is a good deal for us, but Ireland will not be steamrolled on this. I think it is doable. We are not where we need to be today, but I think it is possible to get to be where we need to be in the next few days, he said. After what some in Ireland have dubbed gunboat diplomacy by the DUP, Coveney moved to calm the storm.